How are y'all doing? Like, oh my gosh, y'all, it's been such a long time since I've shot some vlogs. I shot some vlogs like at the beginning of my hiatus, but I deleted them, didn't post them. I just wasn't feeling it. Like, something was missing out of my vlogs and out of my content, and I just had to take a hiatus, take a little break, you know. But now I'm back and I'm better and I'm happy, and it is about to be the end of my 3rd semester of medical school, y'all. Like, there are some of you guys who started with me when I made that first black girl white coat video and just starting medical school, you know, just an introduction video, and that video like did numbers. If you have been with me since the get-go, or if you are new but you caught up since the beginning, y'all, I am so grateful for y'all. I'm so thankful that you guys continue to tune in to Black Girl White Coat. Y'all down, you know, and I really love my supporters. So needless to say, you know, all in all, welcome to another episode of Black Girl White Coat. So now we are here. My hiatus is over. My 3rd semester of medical school is coming to an end. Y'all know I have stuff to say about this semester, because look, that hiatus wasn't just because of, you know, content and blog stuff. That hiatus had all to do with school, and I have USMLE Step 1 coming up in 2018 next semester. So we have to start getting ready for that now, right? And you know, things have been hectic. Things were stressful this semester. I'm just now getting to a place where I'm like, okay, you know, me and God back in communication, you know, we're back good, like taking things day by day. Y'all, this semester was stressful, but y'all already know that I have a whole vlog dedicated to talking about what I went through this semester, the challenges this semester presented, and what I learned, what I wish I could have done better, what I wish I could have started earlier, and what I'm going to do different for next year, and also how I'm preparing for STEP. All that is going to come in the next vlog. Might be the next vlog, I don't know. I feel like I can pump out like a couple more vlogs this week because I'm feeling so great. But as for today's going to be a great vlog too, y'all. Today is all about that gap year. So gap year or nah, what do you do after you graduate, after you get through undergrad? And perhaps you're not going straight through to medical school. What if you're like a December grad and, you know, med school doesn't start till August, and you have a whole semester, you know, not doing anything, but I guess luckily by now you have already submitted your applications and have got a couple interviews, I guess, so you know that you're starting in August, but you still have all this free time. Or maybe, you know, you're just finishing undergrad, you know, you didn't graduate with the GPA that you wanted. Maybe you graduated and your advisor, you know, told you that your GPA isn't strong enough, that you need to go retake these classes, or, you know, med school is just not an option for you. So maybe you're that person, or maybe your story's a little different. Whatever it may be, you have just graduated undergrad, or you'll be graduating undergrad soon, and you want to know, is a gap year good to take, or, you know, should I go do this or that during that year? So that's what this vlog is going to be all about. First things first, is a gap year good or bad? I know I get the question a lot about taking time after undergrad to, you know, get life together, do whatever you want to do. But I always get asked if, you know, admissions committees and med schools, do I think that they would look down on that? And the answer I have is no. You know, as long as you use that gap year to do something beneficial, something, you know, towards medicine, something towards bettering your application, something towards, you know, giving you a better story or a more complete, full story, I don't see it as a problem. For example, for me, I did take a gap year, so I'm gonna do a whole biography video or whatever, but just to tell you a little bit about my journey, pretty sure I've mentioned this on other vlogs before, but I graduated from Baylor University, May 2015. I started there in August 2012. So I completed college, got my bachelor's of science in psychology, and finished all my pre-med prereqs in 3 years, which was quicker than usual, and it was not planned. I always tell people that it was not planned. I did not plan on finishing in 3 years. College was super fun. Like, I was not rushing to get out. You know, I felt 4 years was, you know, good enough. Like, I didn't want to get out in 3 years or anything like that, but I always took summer classes because, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I just couldn't stay idle. I couldn't stay like, you know, not doing anything over a whole summer. I felt like I had to be doing something as far as schoolwork went, as far as my GPA went, and all that stuff. So I ended up graduating early, and so that gave me a gap year. Looking back, if I would have known that I was going to finish in 3 years, would I have made, you know, an attempt to go straight through to medical school? If I had planned it and I was still in my undergrad mind, I think I probably would have. But now that I'm here, now that I'm in medical school, and you know, I've been here for a while, or a little bit, I do not regret that gap year at all. Like, I definitely, if you're a little bit tired, if you're even a little bit, you know, just like, you know, I need to breathe a little bit, or I have other things I want to do, I have somewhere I want to go, or if I want to get this right or get this right, if you're even thinking about it, if you even feel a little bit fatigued, I encourage a gap year, because why not? During my gap year, I scribed, which was the best opportunity and the best like paid shadowing experience job that I can get. And I also got recommendation letters from physicians that I worked with as a scribe. So scribing was like honestly the best thing I did during my gap year. Not saying that everybody out there has to go scribe, but if it is something where that you're interested in, that you want to work, but you also want your work to, you know, mean something for your medical school application, which I highly, highly, highly encourage. You also want to get experience in the field. You know, you want to get experience working with doctors, and maybe your shadowing, you know, hours, you're a little questionable about that. You know, you don't know whether you have enough shadowing or not. Scribing is a great way to get all of that in at one time and to boost up your application heavily. I can tell you that in all my interviews, my interviewer asked me about my shadowing experience and my scribing experience. They still wanted to talk to me about it, and they still thought it was cool. They wanted to know what I saw and what I thought about the field I was one day going to pursue, the field I was one day going to be in, you know? So that really gave me a lot of insight into emergency medicine based, like specifically, but just the world of medicine and doctors' lives. And, you know, I got to meet so many different people, so many different doctors and med school students. There were also nursing students and PA students who were all in that program, and I interacted with all of them. I interacted with the NPs, the nurses, the medical assistants, everybody, and I got along with everybody, and I just learned what it felt like to be in a teamwork like environment. And I was able to talk about that and adequately explain that to my interviewer when it came time. So during my gap year, I scribed. I also traveled. I went to Nigeria, I went to Dubai, and I went to London with my dad, and that was great. I had a great time. Like, it was fun. I also traveled to Atlanta. I spent some time in Atlanta looking at Morehouse College of Medicine. Even before I had applied, before I had, you know, got my interview there or whatever, I just went to go look at it. I have an aunt who lives in Atlanta, and at the time Kenny was training in Atlanta. So I spent some time in Atlanta, and I spent some time overseas. I scribed for a couple months. I didn't scribe the whole time. I scribed just for like a couple months, really, until I got my I actually quit scribing after I got my first interview, my first acceptance letter. And my first acceptance letter came from UTMB down in Galveston. So once I got that, I was like, I'm out. But that's how I spent my gap year. Traveling, spending time with family, friends, Kenny, my boyfriend. And I also went to go visit a medical school, and resting and just rejuvenating and just taking a break from school. That was necessary for me. And I will encourage y'all, if y'all are anything like me, you know, where you are a little bit drained out, or you went super hard in college and you are just a little tired, you're a little burnt out, take a gap year, because it's only going to increase in medical school. The schoolwork only gets more. The information that they expect y'all to just absorb and learn and memorize and know and have down pat for tests is unbelievable. It's only going to get worse in medical school. Not worse, but it's in terms of, like, you know, quality of life or anything, but worse in terms of the amount of information that's going to be thrown your way. So if you are a little bit burnt out from undergrad, take that gap year, take some time off, take some relaxation time. The number one thing is, while you're taking your gap year, is to do something that is meaningful for your application. So if grades are not your worry, if MCAT is not your worry, you don't have to retake the MCAT or you don't have to retake any classes, you're just taking a gap year just because, you know, you need some time to rejuvenate. I would encourage you to look into things like I did, like scribing, which is a job, and it's, you know, great experiences, great, you know, shadowing, paid shadowing, and you can also get great letters of recommendations from that. Look into research if research is your thing, or if you're interested in exploring that area. Look into doing research at your local hospitals, or maybe even go back to your undergrad school. Look into any research positions that they have that, you know, only last a couple months to a year. See if you can do that while you wait. Travel, definitely travel, spend time with family and friends. You know, just do something that you can talk about, that is good to you, that you feel like you need, that is necessary for you at that point in time. It's going to be different for different people. I made sure that I had the relaxation time and that I had a way to, you know, pump up my application as well. And then during that time, I also have to do applications, because those applications are no joke. Those applications take time, you know, time to travel and money and all that good stuff. So during that time, I was working, relaxing, traveling, but also, you know, staying on top of my stuff. And that is what is important for your gap year. So is it good or bad? I think gap years are great. Will the schools look down on you for taking gap year? No, they will not. But I do encourage you guys to have something to say about your gap year. I scribed, I did some research, I took some time off, and I traveled to Norway because I needed some relaxation. But while I was there, I made sure that I, you know, just something to talk about. Because if they ask you about it, you want to be able to give a good answer. But all in all, if you need a gap year, you may need it for your own reasons. You may need it for reasons that are exclusive to you. And that is all fine and dandy. I do not think gap years are bad at all. And don't let anybody make you feel bad for traveling while, you know, you're trying to go to med school. Like, they hear that you're trying to go to med school and they feel like your life has to be locked into medicine 24/7. That's not the case. You need to take time for you, and if your gap year is the time that you need to take, then take it by all means necessary. I will encourage you that while you are taking your gap year, know your deadlines. Know when your application is due. Know when you need to start the application, turn in the application, and, you know when you need to be expecting secondary applications to come in and expecting to travel and go to interviews. Know, you know, your timeline, so you're not like caught off guard with anything. But it is definitely possible to travel and to spend time with, you know, your friends and family while you're in your gap year, and, you know, really take care of yourself during that year. For my peeps who may have graduated with, you know, a GPA that they don't feel is really competitive, or MCAT score that's not really competitive, or, you know, something went wrong along the lines, you know, as far as academics go, that's totally, you know, understood. Undergrad is hard. College is hard. 4.0s don't come easy to everybody, and that's okay. MCAT is hard. Like, if you're leaving college and you don't have the grades or you don't have the MCAT, the gap year is a year to retake your MCAT. Definitely just focus on that MCAT, you know, with all your might. Like, you want to blow that MCAT out of the water your second or third go round. And hopefully, if you take that gap year, you have time to focus, time to study, and time. If grades are the problem, look into retaking classes. But if you've already got that undergrad degree, I would suggest looking into postback programs, master's programs. I know a lot of people who are doing MPHs while they wait, which are masters in public health while they wait. I know somebody who got their MBA while they waited during their gap year, you know, just to keep busy, just to also build up the application. And also they had interest in public health, or they had interest in business. A lot of people did research, you know. So if your grades are the issue, if your grades are what's, you know, making you second guess your application, or if you've actually spoken to, you know, an admissions committee at your local medical school and they're a little worrisome about your grades, or they recommend this or that, take heed to their recommendations, you know. Look into special programs, look into postback programs, look into master's programs, you know, 1 year, 2-year master's programs. And those can really boost your application. And that might be what sets your application apart from others who fall in the same GPA, MCAT, category as you. That extra oomph that you have during that gap year might take you over the moon. So I think I have hit everything that I wanted to talk about for the gap year. If it is what you need, it's what you need. And don't let anybody discourage you from taking that gap year if you feel like you need it. It's a great time to get some work experience, a great time to get some dollars. It's a great time to get some research experience. It's a great time to spend time with your friends and family and just like decompress and relax a little bit and, just gear up for that application process because it's tedious. There's so many things you can do with your gap year. Don't let it go to waste. But do not let anybody discourage you. Do not let, other people's journeys. You might see people going straight from undergrad to med school and, you might get a little envious, a little jealous, or you might just find yourself comparing your journey to their journey. You have to remember that your journey is going to be unique to you. Your journey is what God set in stone for you. What the blessing is, the good news is that, as children of God, we're already promised a victorious end to our story. So no matter what path you go on, no matter how long it takes you or how much longer than the next person it takes you to reach your final goal, to get to medical school, to get that MD, just know that, your path is unique to you and victory is already yours. Like, we can already rejoice and have faith in that fact that it's already going to work out for our good if it is the purpose that God has for us. I really hope this message about the gap year, gap year or not, I really hope it really helped you, just encourage you a little bit. And if you're questioning, that gap year period or what to do after graduation, and you have more questions after this video, feel free to email me. You can contact me directly from my website, blackgirlwhitecoat.org. Or you can email me. My email will be below and after this video. You can DM me on Instagram. Y'all can reach out to me in so many different ways. I am always here to get back to you and to help you and to offer advice as best as I can. And if I don't know something, I will point you in the direction of somebody who does. Once again, thank you guys for watching another vlog from Black Girl White Coat. My name is Sandra. Checking out. And I'm about to... No.